In the 2022 NFL Draft, the Raiders put an emphasis on a couple of different positions. We talked about offensive line, we talked about interior pass rushers, and that's where the buck stops here because I think at the end of the day, boom, get Neil Farrell Jr. and Matthew Butler on the field. I don't care what it takes. Find a way to get them on the field as my wife's alarm goes off. But I do think at the end of the day that there needs to be a serious consideration for how they incorporate interior pass rushers. And that's how they need to do it, by getting these two new rookies on the field. But let's talk about them. I do think, again, though, I know that there's going to be competition. There's going to be a lot of different things. But the worst thing you can do is not put these two on the field, or at least give them a shot. So we talk about here Neil Farrell Jr.'s stats up top here. Had 2.5 sacks last year for LSU. Had 9.5 tackles for loss, 45 tackles as well. And then you go down to Matthew Butler's stats here. Had 5 total sacks. Boom. Interior pass rusher. Love it. Love it. Had 5 total sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss, and 47 tackles. Almost identical literal stats here from these guys, but I do think Matthew Butler is the better interior pass rusher, which I think will have a lot of value. And especially, you getting Farrell Jr. in the 4th and then Butler in the 5th. Listen, this was not an accident. This is a very intentional move by the Raiders front office to put an emphasis on getting pressure on the inside. And I know there's going to be competition. You're going to have Bilal Nichols, who had 5 sacks for the Bears last year. You got Jonathan Hankins coming back, who honestly I think he's going to be still a really good player. But at the same time, if you can bring these guys along, if you can put them on the field and give them a chance to succeed, I think that's what needs to be ultimately under consideration here. I get it. Out with the old, in with the new, but at the same time, you got to be able to be reliable. And I think these two guys will be more than reliable. They are very good football players, and I honestly do think that when you watch the tape on them, when you do compare them, put them side by side, I think we could be looking at a Pat and Kevin Williams type situation that you saw with the Vikings. Seriously, we're talking about guys that can stuff the run, get after the passer, and I think that's literally how you're going to build a defense. Be tough up front. You've got great edge rushers. Now it's about bringing in great interior pass rushers and defensive linemen, and that's exactly what they did here in Neil Farrell Jr. and Matthew Butler. And I do think at the end of the day, yes, like I said, you also got Vernon Butler. You also got some guys on the edge that are going to compete. They might move Clelin Ferrell onto the inside, and I get that. There's a lot of different things that they want to do. I totally understand it. Matthew, like we said, also Andrew Billings is a big guy. He definitely deserves a shot. Kendall Vickers. So there is definitely competition. There is definitely guys to choose from with this, and a lot of different things you could do with the 3-4-4-3. Again, not to mention with Clelin Ferrell Jr. But overall, this is a very exciting time for the Raiders. Now, again, Bilal Nichols and Jonathan Hankins are probably going to be your starters. I get it. I understand it. However, are you going to sit here and tell me that you're just not even going to put these two guys and not even give Neil Farrell Jr. or Matthew Butler a shot? No. In training camp, in preseason, I want to see as much of these guys on the field as possible. I want to see how they operate together differently in both at nose, both at the 3-tech, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Get these guys on the field and let them do their things, because I think in the long run, these guys could definitely be the answer for the Raiders at defensive tackle. And I think they could be special players. Again, something you can build a defense on. But let us know but let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let me know what you guys think about getting Neil Farrell Jr. and Matthew Butler on the field.